When I travel, I really love three things about travel. And one of those is, I call it landscapes. And the second one is cultures, art, and history. And then the third is people. So landscapes, culture, and people. And recently I've been in Europe, and so I got a lot of culture, history, art, architecture in that category. And I also got a lot of people. So I decided that this weekend I wanted to come out in my own backyard here in Colorado and experience some of the landscape. I also wanted to challenge myself to get outside of my comfort zone. And so when I initially started this weekend, it was all like very haphazardly planned, to be honest with you. And right at the last minute, I kind of threw things together on Friday, and I zipped out the door with this half-cocked idea that I was going to go look for some dispersed camping around Leadville. And then I was going to go down to Black Canyon out of Gunnison, and I was going to hike all of that area, and then I was going to camp there as well, and then I was going to come all the way back on Sunday evening. Well, here is Sunday afternoon, and I am not at Black Canyon out of Gunnison. It's pretty special though, isn't it? I first challenged myself with the campsite that I picked the first night. It's called Portal Campground. This is in the National Forest, which is part of the Department of the Interior, and they have this space that's way at the end of this 7-mile long gravel road that's washed out in sections. It's really, they really ask for a 4-wheel drive vehicle. I have an all-wheel drive vehicle, and it's quite bumpy to get in there. I challenged myself because I had to come all the way from Denver, and there's a lot of reasons why not. I didn't know if there was going to be spaces, and I knew there was only limited spaces. And did I really want to travel all the way to the end of that road only to find out that there wasn't any spaces and I had to travel all the way back out? Oh goodness, it'd be so much easier just to go on booking.com and just, get myself a hotel. But I decided that no, I was going to see it all the way through. So I drove all the way out there, and it paid off, and I had a wonderful campsite. That was putting myself outside of my comfort zone a little bit, just allowing destiny or allowing the circumstances to kind of tell me yay or nay. And then I was going to adapt to whatever that was. And it felt really good. I felt more confident, felt more clear. And I was committed, and I was okay that there was a potential for an outcome that was negative, that I wasn't going to get a space. But I was ready for that. I didn't know exactly what, but I felt confident that I had the ability to face whatever came next. Because I had this just really emboldened idea that I was going to climb Mount Elbert. I was so inspired by this, putting myself outside of my comfort zone. I was like, I'm going to go climb Mount Elbert. It's a 14,000 plus foot high mountain. It's very high. But the thing is, it's 9.5 miles up there. And you go up 4,500 feet of elevation change. And it takes the average person 7.5 hours to complete the hike. And it's all at really high altitude. Well, and I've had problems with my foot this year, and I was actually not even able to walk at one point. And so I started thinking about that stuff, and I was like even more emboldened. I was like, I'm going to do it anyways, because I'm going to assert how awesome I am, that with sheer force of will, I can go up that mountain. I can beat my foot. Then I got to thinking about that a little bit more. And I walked around Glenwood Springs, and I realized my foot already hurt. And so I found this place. This is Lake Whitney. It's on the side of Mount Massive. I don't think Mount Massive is either one of these mountains. These are probably around 13,000 feet high right here. And this lake, I don't know how high this lake is. Maybe that is Mount Massive, who knows? Anyways, It's a 5.5 mile round trip hike, and it's 1,800 feet of elevation change. That means it's practically straight up to this lake. I got plenty of challenge in for my foot. I went outside my comfort zone, but I didn't have to break my neck to do it. And look at the payoff. Isn't that amazing? I'm just lounging here. I also want to go up there, but that's not a today thing. Sometimes I think we have to know, when do we dial it in? That's part of getting outside your comfort zone as well. I think about how many times I've harmed myself in my life because I went too far, pushed too much. The other end of the spectrum isn't pretty either, doing too little. I want beauty and magnificence in my life. I want excellence. I want to feel free. I want to feel like I am healthy enough and in touch with my body enough to make wise decisions that support it and yet challenge it to get outside of its comfort zone. And it's healthy enough to take me to places that I dream of. To take me here. It's going to take me up there too. Just not today. Have a wonderful day.